Short is the story, long is the life.
Shenzhen. In just 40 years, this small fishing village transformed into one of the most futuristic cities on Earth. Glass skyscrapers, neon lights, and the constant hum of ambition. But in the heart of this modern wonderland, there is a building that time forgot. The China Merchants Bank Building. 60 floors of empty offices, dark windows, and locked doors. Locals walk past it quickly. Taxi drivers refuse to stop. Real estate agents do not show it. In a city where every square meter is worth a fortune, this building sits abandoned. Why? To understand this story, you first need to understand Feng Shui. Feng Shui literally means wind and water. It is an ancient Chinese practice of arranging buildings and spaces to harmonize with the natural flow of energy, or qi. According to Feng Shui, every building has energy. Good energy brings prosperity and health. Bad energy brings misfortune and fear. And some buildings, no matter how modern they look, can have energy so disturbed that they become uninhabitable.
The China Merchants Bank Building has one of the worst Feng Shui designs I have ever seen. The shape is triangular, narrowing toward the top. In Chinese tradition, this shape represents incense sticks burning for the dead. You see these shapes in temples and ancestral halls, not in buildings where people live and work. The building also has sharp angles pointing directly at surrounding structures. In Feng Shui, these are called secret arrows. They shoot bad energy at everything around them. And the most serious problem, the building faces directly toward a major road intersection. In Feng Shui, this creates a poison arrow, a stream of chaotic energy rushing toward the entrance every single day.
The Feng Shui problems were bad enough. But the history of the land itself was even worse. Before Shenzhen became a global city, this area was farmland and hills. But beneath this particular plot of land, there was something else.
When they broke ground for this tower in the late 1990s, the construction workers made a disturbing discovery. Beneath the topsoil, they found hundreds of human bones. This land had been an unmarked burial ground for centuries. Poor families from nearby villages buried their dead here because they could not afford proper graves. The construction company removed the bones and continued building. But in Chinese tradition, disturbing a burial ground without proper rituals is extremely dangerous. The dead who are disturbed without respect become hungry ghosts. They linger in the place where they were buried, confused and angry.
The building opened in 2002. At first, businesses did rent space. The location was excellent, the rent was competitive. But within months, strange reports began to surface. Security guards were the first to notice.
I worked security there for 6 months. The worst was the 20th floor. Every single night, at exactly 2 a.m., every phone on that floor would start ringing at the same time. Not one phone. All of them. The security team checked the phone system multiple times. Technicians could find nothing wrong. But I heard it myself. You walk onto that floor at 2 a.m. and the sound hits you from every direction. It was terrifying.
The 20th floor became legendary among Shenzhen's security community. Guards refused to patrol it alone. Some quit rather than work night shifts. But the phones were not the only phenomenon. Employees working late reported seeing a woman in white walking through the corridors on the upper floors. When they tried to follow her, she would disappear into closed rooms.
What they are experiencing are typical signs of a building haunted by hungry ghosts.
The government tried everything to save the building. They reduced rent by half. They renovated the lobby at great expense. They even changed the building's official street address, hoping to escape its reputation. Nothing worked. New tenants would move in, stay a few months, and leave without explanation. In real estate circles across China, the China Merchants Bank building became known as a place to avoid.
If I were asked to fix this building, I would tell them to tear it down and start again. The Feng Shui cannot be corrected. The shape is wrong. The orientation is wrong. The land is cursed. No amount of renovation will change these fundamental problems.
Today, the China Merchants Bank building stands as a monument to the limits of modern development. In a city that builds entire districts in a matter of months, this one tower remains stubbornly empty. A reminder that some forces cannot be engineered away. The local government has discussed demolishing the building and redeveloping the land. But so far, no action has been taken. Perhaps they are afraid of what might be unleashed if they disturb the ground again.
I do not know if the building is really haunted. But I know what I saw and what I heard. And I know that I will never go back to that place again. Some things you cannot explain. And some places you should never enter.
Shenzhen will continue to grow. New towers will rise. The city will keep reaching for the sky. But one building will always remain dark, its empty windows staring out over the city like silent eyes. The China Merchants Bank building. 60 floors of the unknown. The most haunted building in Shenzhen. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Wukong's Archive for a new urban legend every day.